Come in, Team 32. I will not be moved.
Watch where you're waggling that placard, Keith.
No can do, Laszlo. I'm on strike. I will not be
What
moved.
prompted this one-man walkout, Keith?
Well, Oscar, the department committee has introduced a new Employee of the Day award. I was in the archives last night, retrospectively back-awarding the Daily Gongs through department history.
That's a big job.
Good spot, Columbo. When I got back to the 15th century, I unearthed a hideous miscarriage of justice perpetrated on the then Undersecretary to the Department Committee, one Arnelius Bilk.
Is your job hereditary?
No, Victor, we're just very good at it.
Oh.
The point is, in 1491, Arnelius Bilk was convicted of a Grade 3 filing error.
Is that all?
There is no way anyone from my gene pool would commit a Grade 3. No way! I'm on strike until Arnelius's name is cleared.
Oh, does that mean you can't give us our brief today?
I'm not a dimwit, Laszlo. I pre-recorded the briefing statement, so I don't technically have to break my own picket line. I've set a timer, so it should be... Yes, here it is. The Department Committee requires a researched brainstorm on how to regulate global trade for the overall benefit of humanity. On my desk by 6. Thank you, Keith. The brief's on a timer as well. Catch!
Lights in the air!
Ah, whoops. Any questions? If you pick up the brief, you will be breaking my picket line. If you don't pick it up, you will be fired. Ball's in your court.
No, we'd better take it.
Scab! 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 How can you not sleep at night? Scab! 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 Briefing meeting terminated.
The department, far from the gaze of an unsuspecting public and untouched by the tentacles of Westminster. The department has been secretly running the country since... Look, it doesn't matter. It's here to stay. Now get out of my face. Deep within its labyrinthine headquarters works a dedicated three-man think tank. Oscar Proud, history finder general and protector of the tweed. Victor Gooch, who defends the honour of the law as if it were someone else's scantily clad teenage daughter. And Laszlo Wolf, flightless Knievel over the burnt-out buses of science. Each week, they're required to investigate possible solutions to one of the nation's major problems. Each week, your future is in their hands.
I've never had breakfast in a gymnasium before.
Oscar, you've never done anything in a gymnasium before.
Well, it's gym breakfast or no breakfast. The canteen staff went on strike in support of Keith halfway through cooking it. So there's only half the usual number of breakfasts to go round. Each one to be won and lost over a single furious round of bare-knuckle boxing.
Oh, well, while we're waiting to be drawn out of the hat, let's give this trade brief a half-arsed once-over. All right, first of all, we have to work out what place, if any, poverty has in the modern global economy.
Well, it's absolutely vital, Oscar. Poverty provides a very useful social hierarchy. Without it, how do we know how successful we are?
Yep, we need poverty as much as poverty needs us.
The basic attitude of the Western world to developing countries has always been, Pedro, look me in the eyes and tell me that your goat is better than my combine harvester. You see, you can't do it, can you, Pedro? Now give me your goat and get out of my office.
Winner by knockout of a sausage and egg baguette, Arthur the Screwdriver Bracken!
God, Mrs. Burgess from Subhuman Resources took a real pounding there.
Next bout, Research Team 32's Laszlo Wolf.
Yes, I love the smell of bacon in the morning.
Will fight, representing Refuse Collection, Vladimir Lopez.
Enormous Vlad? He's half Russian, half Mexican. Laszlo's gonna get killed.
Well, you've clearly not seen Laszlo when a breakfast is at stake. Laszlo! Boomerang!
I want my sandwich!
Well, so do I, Sanchezovich.
Winner by immediate knockout of a bacon buddy.
Yes!
Laszlo the Lapsed Jew.
Make it a crispy one.
Wolf.
Splash of ketchup. Cut it in 4.
Attention department employees. The Historical Comparison Division announced that the invention of sliced bread is to be decommissioned as a universal reference point. Future breakthroughs will henceforth be declared the best thing since the chicken burrito.
Don't worry, guys. Keith's industrial action will burn itself out quicker than a depressed Parisian car.
You better be right. I don't want to risk being drawn against Laszlo One-Punch Wolf when there's a hedgehog carpaccio on the line.
Raw prickles. Yum.
Right, let's hit this brief. Over the hairpin-cornered course of time, trade and its side effects have been responsible for more human misery than any activity other than interpretation of the Bible.
Pretend blood, real blood. Have a cup of tea.
Now, as we see from this cave painting, The most significant moment in human history was not, as is commonly supposed, the invention of the wheel. It was, in fact, the selling of that wheel.
Closely followed by the aggressive viral marketing of the wheel.
And the ensuing application to patent the concept of roundness.
Well, ever since then, debt has been a concrete kangaroo around the world's neck, and it shows no signs of doing us all a favour and boinging into oncoming traffic.
In fact, Africa's debt problem has now got so bad that the IMF's bailiffs have started taking stuff of even sentimental value.
You know, like photo albums,
Love letters,
gold,
oil,
children.
you know, the kind of meaningless tat you hang on to.
Clutters up the attic.
And as always, the devil is nonchalantly washing his nutsack in the detail. Yes, the G8 might promise to drop the debt, but what they haven't yet specified is on whom and from what height.
In which case, it's Greenwich High Time for the rich West to get its redistributive bombardment off the runway.
Come in, Iron Fist. This is the World Bank.
This is Iron Fist.
What is your location?
I'm passing over Chad.
Drop the debt.
Exactly how much debt am I dropping on this one?
1.1 billion US.
Notes or coins?
Well, coins. We want to make sure they know we've dropped it. Aim for anything that looks like a school.
I've got a visual on something that looks like a hospital.
Yeah, that's near enough.
Cargo doors open.
The debt has been dropped. I repeat, the debt has been dropped. Target hit. Ungrateful bastards!
Good work, Iron Fist. Now head east until you see Sudan.
Roger and out.
Good luck trying to get America to sign up for that cascade of compassion, given that they, in fact, are the proud owner, trainer and jockey of the world's biggest debt at a cool $8.4 trillion.
Yeah, and yet how many Africans in wristbands have you seen trying to help them out?
Zero. Awareness is a two-way canal, and it seems there aren't a lot of Ugandan canoes on it.
Well, that's probably because our loans to the developing world tend to come with so many strings attached that we can jerk it around like a prancing marionette. And this explains why many third world economies have been going downhill so fast that people have been banging cowbells at them.
Well, we need to give them the illusion of hope, and no one dangles the fleeting ferret of instant prosperity down the rabbit hole of desperation quite as temptingly as the casino.
Nice point.
If the international economy modelled itself on Las Vegas, we could finally allow the developing world to believe their crack-pipe dream of a fairer planet.
Hello, I'm Natasha Kwan. You join us here at the poker table in the World Trade Organization's new headquarters on the Costa del Wanga.
Natasha, all day we've been watching the struggling nations of the world cashing their GDPs into brightly coloured chips in the hope of winning some half-decent infrastructure.
There are now just 3 countries left at the table. China, the USA, and the famine-stricken Republic of Niger. Here comes the flop.
Look at that.
3 queens. Let's have a look at the players' hands from our under-the-table camera.
Well, America sitting on a pair of queens there.
Sheesh, that makes 5 queens. That's a good hand for the US, huh?
It sure is.
Niger only have 1 card, the knot of diamonds?
A suspiciously bad run of luck just goes on and on.
China have just pulled a card out of their sock that I have never seen before.
It's got a goat on it.
Yeah.
Does goat beat flush, Natasha?
Yes, goat beats flush, yeah.
Well, America seems to be having a quiet word with the dealer now, Natasha. Dealer's now leaving the room with what seems to be a bulging suitcase in a brown paper bag.
So it's left to America to deal the turn card, and it's another queen.
6 queens for the USA now. That's good news for Wall Street, I suppose, but unless the river card is 6 aces, Niger are going to have to borrow 20p to call the Red Cross again.
Here's the river. It's the billion-strong workforce of clubs.
Well, what the hell does that mean?
China take the pot, and we could be seeing a shift in power here.
Well, it sounds like someone's struck lucky on the IMF fruit machine. Oh, would you believe it? It's Burundi.
Wow.
Well, they must have pumped their 1 remaining coin in, and, well, now they're looking at 3 cartoon pineapples.
Do you know, if they walk away now, that record-high infant mortality rate could become a thing of the past.
And at that point, I'm going to jump off this derailed train of thought before it careers down an embankment and smashes into a listed patisserie.
Disappointing.
Right, now next, the brief wants to look at how to help the gradually increasing choir of ethically inoffensive companies.
Well, what they most need is the hydrogen of publicity. It will help them float their well-meaning blimps above the foggy streets of public awareness.
Yes, before exploding and crashing down in flames into the harsh realities of the marketplace.
Oscar, allow the King of Finance to deliver his Christmas message.
Is that you?
Yep.
Oh.
Dear peasants, no one knows how and why stock markets work, but the fact is they do. So we can use their commercial leverage to catapult ethical companies into the economic stratosphere. Now go baste that turkey.
His Majesty could be right. If we introduce an ethical trading day on the stock markets, where the only tradable shares are those that allow their holders an undisturbed night's sleep, we could champion the wonder cause of responsible business.
Welcome to the Stock Exchange for the first annual Ethical Trading Day. Please release the traders. I declare ethical trading open.
Can I have some shares in Ethiblast UK?
How many do you want?
3 shares?
Yeah, alright, sold.
What's the name of the company that sells those funny Vietnamese clocks?
Do you want a piece of chewing gum?
Yeah, alright. Cheers.
Oh, I want a piece of chewing gum too.
Yeah, I want some of that piece of chewing gum. Hold on.
I'll swap a piece of chewing gum for 3 Garibaldi.
I will swap 2 of the Garibaldis for an option on a bag of wine.
Right, I want a total buyer for the 3 Garibaldis tomorrow. I'll give you 20 marshmallows.
Well, I think that proves that ethics and stock market traders like igneous rocks have nothing to say to each other.
Laszlo, what are you doing?
I'm warming up for lunch, Victor.
You know, as long as Laszlo still has that look in his eyes, I'm still not hungry.
Fear not, Oscar.
And stay down!
I happen to know that the department buried emergency ration packages during the Napoleonic War.
I do like my food mature. Where did they hide them?
That I don't know.
I can find this edible treasure for us using my Ahoy Mate 3.1 electronic pirate. I'll just switch him on. Seek buried lunchboxes.
Go ye 87 paces west, northwest.
That's the department's rainforest ecodome.
Grab a spade and some tapier repellent. Let's go.
Attention department employees. The Democratic Infrastructure Division have completed their discreditation blueprint for a devamped House of Lords. They are confident that the concept of a constitutionally vital second chamber will be completely undermined by the new Wendy House of Lords.
Lunch ahoy.
What's in it?
Wolf sandwiches.
Yuck.
Oh, don't knock it. That's what got us through the Battle of Waterloo.
Oh well, needs must.
What do we want?
Looks like Keith's built up a decent groundswell of support.
As soon as logistically possible!
So, to confirm, what are we lobbying for?
Justice for Arnelius Bilk!
Hello, Keith.
Hello, Team sorry. Hello, Team 32.
That's a tidy little unruly mob you've cobbled together, Keith.
Sure is.
How did you rope them all in?
Half of them love justice, the other half just don't like you.
What's that got to do with it?
Bit of a development. Turns out that Arnelius Bilk was nobbled by your Team 32 predecessors. These are the minutes from Team 32's research meeting on 1st of April 1491. They were testing the new concept of April Fool's Day by playing a practical joke on one Arnelius Bilk.
What did they do?
Well, they knew Arnelius hated poetry. So they spiked his peacock omelette with agricultural strength mead, dressed him up as a cannonball, pointed him headfirst at a granite statue of Geoffrey Chaucer, and then just let him go. He suffered severe concussion, and that afternoon, I can hardly bring myself to say this, Arnelius Bilk misfiled a sheet of paper.
I still don't see what this has got to do with us.
You know the rules. Under Department Regulation 2, responsibility passes down through job description.
Oh, no.
So I will see you for the retrial at 6:05 p.m. in the Department Justice Annex. Good day. Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Well, looks like we're going to cop some serious historical blowback.
We'll probably get through it. Anyway, let's swing by the corporate cliche rehabilitation unit on the way back to the office. Poncho's on. Now, cliches have always been the first refuge of the economico-political scoundrel, so the department set this place up to impound and rehabilitate conscience-whitewashing platitudes. Here in Lab 9L, we've set up an experimental rugby match to analyse whether the level playing field so beloved of the economic superpowers is, as they claim, sufficient to ensure fair global competition.
So who's playing?
New Zealand All Blacks versus the Biggleswade under-9s.
429-3. Ouch.
and the 3 was a fluky drop goal. The point is, this is the levelest playing field physics can muster.
Did Joe Roccacoco just harpoon that kid?
He did, but he knows he can get away with it.
No, there's no explicit rule against that.
In any mismatch like this, the authorities are always going to side with the big guys. This ref has let the All Blacks get away with all kinds of dirty stuff, whereas he sent off little Timmy Watkins for crying at a line-out.
All right, what's the next cliche?
Well, Professor Slidge here
Hello, Team 32.
will illustrate to you the problems associated with the carrot and stick approach, which is so casually cited by Western governments to excuse themselves when coercing third world nations to be more economically obliging.
Thank you, Laszlo. Now, this is a carrot.
It's a pretty big carrot.
Big enough indeed that I can actually use it as a stick.
Ooh! Oh! Oh!
Furthermore, if I get a nice pointy carrot like this one, I can tie it to a broom handle and use it as a kind of primitive spear.
Ow! Ow!
And these little tin carrots can be coated in lead and used as bullets.
Not the face. Oh, you total cow!
So, as we see, the carrot can be far more dangerous than the stick. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Professor Slidge.
Well, let's consider that cliche thoroughly debunked.
I'm never eating coleslaw again.
Good work, Laszlo.
Lead-coated carrot, anyone?
All right, let's get back to base.
Attention department employees. The International Insurance Committee have formally rejected Afghanistan's claim for a payout. Their assessment has shown that all damage suffered by the claimant nation is in fact an act of man, and is therefore not covered under their standard third-party famine and flood policy.
Are we going to have any chance in Keith's ludicrous retrial?
What does it matter, Oscar? How serious can misfiling one piece of paper be?
Right. Now, the brief wants us to look at how the individual can change the way that international business works.
With or without the use of prank phone calls?
Let's try without.
OK.
There are already major popular campaigns trying to phoenix some fairness from the flames of commerce, but unlike some of the people they're trying to save, they are mostly very poorly executed.
Yep, the Make Poverty History campaign, for example, was doomed to failure because the world's biggest economic forces deliberately misinterpreted the words Make Poverty History as a challenge to impoverish more people than ever before.
We need education in all crannies of this debate. So let's start by putting leading corporate bigwigs in classrooms to teach our liberal-leaning children the unforgivingly Arctic realities of a globalised marketplace.
Eyes on the blackboard. Cameroon has 3 apples. America wants those apples. How many apples does Cameroon have? Is it A, no apples?
What are the others?
That's it. Cameroon has no apples. Write that down. Now, Cameroon thought it had 3 apples, but the apples were in fact owned by a large American agribusiness conglomerate who had outsourced their apple growing operation far enough away that the pitiful wages they pay their employees were out of what?
Sight!
And out of what?
Mind!
And most importantly, out of what?
Obstructive minimum wage legislation!
Superb, now we're learning. So, let's say Cameroon now makes the mistake of getting a bit peckish and eating one of the apples it doesn't have. How many apples does Cameroon now have?
No apples?
No!
Minus 4 apples?
Correct. And a week later?
Minus 100 apples and a minus mango.
You'll go far, Twinkle. So, I've shown my working. Now, what must I not forget to do?
Shred your working!
Exactly. Cover your eyes. Any questions?
Sir, is this system strictly fair?
The best way of responding to a complex economic and ethical teaser such as this is with the help of my trusted little friend, Little Johnny Teargas. When will you fairy tale dwellers accept that the world isn't fair? Say Cameroon has no apples! Say it! Don't rub your eyes! Say it!
No apples!
Finally, we've made a breakthrough! You, over the window.
I take it back. If there's one thing an Ofsted inspector is guaranteed to come down hard on, it's the use of tear gas on the under-12s. Consumers do have the power to revolutionise trading practices, but they still seem largely reluctant to put slightly more of their money where their Chomsky regurgitating mouth is.
Well, that's because buying fair trade products is tantamount to treason.
You're right. Britain was built on the concept of unfair trade.
Yep, Australia, for example, was one of our greatest ever trades. We bought it off the Aborigines. in exchange for some little bits of lead.
We gave them loads of these bits of lead, and in fact we were so anxious to complete the transaction as quickly as possible that we gave them the bits of lead at incredibly high velocity.
Look, the whole concept of fair trade is ridiculous. It is embarrassing for us in the wealthy West that fundamental human decency needs to be celebrated with its own label.
Good point. When I meet someone, I seldom feel the need to introduce myself by saying, "Hello, I'm Laszlo Wolf. I've never killed anyone. Where's my special sticker?"
That's because it wouldn't be true.
Rather than praising fair trade, we should be demonising unfair trade like the backstreet Beelzebub it is. As well as bringing home their shopping, consumers should be forced to bring home the consequences of their shopping.
Come along now, Martin. Help Mummy in with the shopping.
Oh, can we play curveball in the garden, man?
Stop right there, lady.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We cannot allow you into your house until you acknowledge the devastating effect that your shopping habits are having on the developing world.
What?
Oh, what have we here? Are these fair trade bananas?
Well, they're organic. Does that count?
No, it is not. They're clearly not the same. I'm sick of people asking me that.
Mum, can we play curveball now, please?
Yes, all right, Martin. Go and put your new trainers on.
Hold it right there. Those trainers are stained with the blood of thousands of Southeast Asian children.
No, that's the design, you square.
Look, I'm sure it's not as bad as you say it is.
Well, perhaps you'd like to run that one past this little lad.
Yeah, this is 10-year-old Luluk Wahid, and he personally stitched that spangly medium-grade footwear.
Now, punch Luluk in the face.
Yeah.
Go on.
What?
Really clock him on.
Pop, I know shoes you're effectively punching him in the face. At least have the good guts to do him yourself.
I can't. For your shoes, Martin, you hit him.
Oh, okay. The stitching fell apart on my last pair, you lazy little blighter! You've got to go with a double-cross stitch on the heel! It's double-cross stitch!
Enough! You've made our point.
Oh, I like it. Hurl the blame at the individual, because you're not going to get it to stick to the companies no matter how hard you fling it.
That's because of this. The department's Profit Vindication Division developed this excuse-generating machine. Let's give it a whirl. Oscar, you lob some corporate blame at it.
All right. Crisp manufacturers are damaging children's health by over-salting their perennially disappointing snacks.
Now pull the lever.
They are trying to make your children easier to float.
That's right. They're heroes. Next time little Timmy falls into a goose pond and bobs straight back up to the surface, they'll be entitled to expect a strongly worded thank you letter.
Next accusation, please, Oscar.
Okay, sweatshops are naughty.
Sweatshop labour prevents civil war.
Oh, that's right again. Think about it. If you're working a 20-hour day for no money, you won't have the time, energy or resources to start a revolution against an oppressive regime. One for luck. What do you make of Africa?
Starvation is 99% psychological.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
The irreversible status quo is that big business has become more powerful than all the other gods put together. All of us need to get down on our knees and pray for commercial mercy, and no one should be down on more knees than Britain's farmers.
They have no choice but to do anything in their puny power to curry the contract-giving favour of the almighty supermarkets.
Come on, Megan.
Can we buy some fizzy sharks, Dad?
Well, maybe if you're good. Daddy's got a little favour to ask. Be a good girl and lie on that ceremonial slab.
Is that an altar, Dad?
It is. Aren't you a clever girl? Up you pop.
Oh, ye mighty supermarket gods! Ye who do smite down the local monger with your ferocious market power! Hail me to you! It is not for us to understand how you provide the British public with such abnormally cheap food of such just about adequate enough quality. And to please your vengeful majesties, we offer unto you this humble sacrifice. It's young Megan here. Good luck.
Keep still, love. Oh, no, it's your mother. Oh, hang on, please, Ken. Hello, darling. Oh, it's not a good time, no. Yeah, Megan's with me, yes. We're at the supermarket. You can hear a bonfire in the background. Come on, Caroline, be reasonable. I don't think I am throwing good kids after bad. Well, she doesn't mind.
I don't mind, Mum.
Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree on this one, won't we? Oh, it should be about half an hour. Love you. Sorry, I'll turn it off.
Almighty chain gods!
Mum says hi.
Accept our gift to you, here on the steps of one of your magnificent 24-hour temples, have mercy upon us humble producers, your pitiful slaves. Amen. Amen.
Yes, I said it. Amen.
Mr. Barleymo, would you do the honours?
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Nice work. A society controlled by an institutionalised religion that is answerable to market forces. Jesus and Bill Gates will be dancing the lambada together in their high-tech graves.
Bill Gates isn't dead.
Look into his eyes, Laszlo.
Jesus isn't dead either, so my point stands. Disc up the chute then, Laszlo. Now, wasn't there something else we were supposed to be doing?
Attention department employees. The retrial of Arnelius Bilk will take place in the Justice Annex in 5 minutes, under the original 15th century rule.
That was it!
Oh dear.
Victor, what was justice like in the 15th century?
Pretty ferocious.
All right then, let's go look justice in the face. So Keith, how is this going to work?
It's your basic trial by fire.
Isn't that a bit drastic for misfiling a single piece of paper?
That piece of paper was the first ever map of how to get to America. As a result of that misfiling, it ended up in the in tray of one Mr. C. Columbus, who put the entire world in jeopardy by discovering America. It's arguable that Britain has never recovered. Court is now in session. Judge Tony presiding.
Righto. If Keith withstands the flames, Arnelius is innocent. I'll just fire up the barbecue. Will the defendant please put his hand into the flames?
Righto.
How is he doing that?
Mind over matter, Victor.
He must be pretty confident he's holding a marshmallow.
Enough yet, Tony?
Case dismissed. I declare Arnelius Bilk exonerated of all charges.
Yes! Justice! I hereby impeach Team 32 for their role in the wrongful conviction of Arnelius Bilk.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. Team 32, approach the barbecue.
Come on then, lads. Strength in numbers.
I'm on strike, Oscar.
What?
Me too. If you're on strike, you're technically not considered an employee, so cannot be disciplined.
That is technically correct, so you two are off the hook. And thanks for your admittedly late-in-the-day support.
Oscar Proud, please put your hand in the flames.
Ow!
Guilty!
Ah,
I'd like to appeal. Go if you wish. Hand back in the flames.
Ow!
Oh, appeal rejected.
You're going to have to serve the same sentence as Arnelius.
What's that?
He was tied to a horse and dragged around the department. Obviously, I can't use a horse due to health and safety regs, but what I can use is the nearest modern-day equivalent to the horse, namely the 750cc motorbike. Time on, Tony!
Oh, with pleasure. Well, thank you both for your support and loyalty at this very difficult...
Try to keep limp, Oscar. It will soften the carpet burn.
Arnelius! Smell my fumes of justice!
The Department was written and performed by John Oliver and Andy Zaltzman and featured Chris Addison, with Peter Dickson, Matthew Holness and Lucy Montgomery. Produced by Richard Grocock. The Department is an Avalon production for BBC Radio 4. Now, repeat that all out loud until you've remembered it.